Now, let me just tell y'all something right now. I have recorded this video like 3 to 4 times already, and it has gotten deleted every time. So I don't know. I'm really not sure what's working against me, but hopefully this will be the last recording and I can get this video out to you guys and tell you what I think. Hi, my name is ShaneidaMonique and welcome to my channel. If you're new here, I do videos geared towards giving you helpful tips on how to navigate through life and relationship. And this video is if women should approach men. Now, let me just tell you this. I have spoken to a group of men, a mixture of good guys and bad guys, and asked them a bunch of questions. And so now I'm going to come and give you the answers. Also, I'm going to give you my opinions and my perspective when it comes to this particular topic. All right, so first, when I asked, let me just start by saying straight up, every guy that I have spoken to or asked if in fact it bothered him or if he was all for women approaching him, they all had the same answer, which is they do not mind women approaching them. They actually don't even care. If a woman wants to approach them, if she sparks a conversation, they're all for it. There was no really bad answers when it came to how they felt or if they thought that it was unladylike or whatever for a woman to approach them. None of them felt that way. If you're watching this and you're a woman, it basically says you have the green light to approach any man that you want. But here are the cons that I noticed when I went into further questioning them. Because initially, every man said that they didn't mind. But then when I started to ask questions like, okay, well, the women that actually approach you, are you attracted to? Now, their answer was, in the case of if they are attracted to them, they said, yes, we were, I'm attracted to them, I like them, whatever. And I said, okay, now if this girl who you were attracted to did not approach you, would you approach her? And the answer was yes. So in that case, if he was attracted to a woman, he was going to approach her regardless of whether she approached him or not, which I found to be interesting as well. So another question that I asked was, the women that actually do approach them, are they attracted to? And for the most part, a lot of them said that majority of the women that's actually approaching them, they are not attracted to. And obviously my next question was, well, what do you do in that sense? What do you do in the case of you have this woman that she's approaching you and you're not attracted to her? You're not actually going to engage with her whatsoever. Like, what do you do? What do you say? And a majority of them actually said that they just keep on going along with it. They say that they don't tell her that they're not interested. They keep the conversation going. They exchange numbers and whatever. And they say that majority of the time it's because they don't want to hurt her feelings. They don't want to embarrass her. So they do engage with her. They do talk to her. And then they say after a while, they just fade to black and hope that she forgets about them. And I just found that to be like, I don't know. It was kind of weird hearing it as a woman, because I'm just going to give you my opinion or whatever. I'm a woman that I do not mind approaching a man. I can approach any man that I want. I don't have that attitude where I'm afraid to talk to anybody or I'm afraid to engage with people. I'm fairly friendly, so that kind of works to my advantage when it comes to just being able to spark conversations with people. If I approach a man, but he's not attracted to me or he's not really into me, and I am approaching him and he's just kind of like going along with it just to save face or just to not hurt my feelings, and then I go to call him or like, say, hey, so what's up? Let's go link or whatever. And he's totally not interested in me. And he's just like, all right, whatever. Like, to me, I'm like, I think that's worse. No, I think that's worse. Like, just shut me down from the very beginning. Don't waste my time. Don't have me calling you and trying to engage with you and then you ghost me. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, don't do that. Don't do that. Just say you're not interested. Like, granted, it might be a little awkward at first, but, I just feel like, just say you're not interested. Most of the time when I do approach a man and I get shut down or whatever, it's it's most likely because he has a girlfriend or he's married. Or you know what? Matter of fact, I'm going to do a video with the best ways to approach a man, and you guys go check that out. Make sure that you subscribe, okay? But getting back to this original video, when I asked them other questions, so like this was fairly like the good guys were saying how if a woman approaches them, then they would just, you know, be nice and say, oh yeah, exchange numbers, and then, you know, and that's it. Then eventually they go so. But the funny thing is that when I asked the bad guys, you know what I'm saying, the F boys, when I asked them, in fact, how they felt about a woman approaching them or a woman being less attractive or whatever the case is, let me tell you something. They said that one, they only talk to women who approach them, and that whole attraction thing or whatever doesn't even matter. They only spoke to women who approach them, meaning that they'd never bothered to go after a girl. Like, to them, it's not even worth it. The women have to come to them, which is so weird in a sense, because then you look at it, because there are certain men that they do fairly get approached by women, and you know, and you really can't gauge it. You really can't say, okay, well, this guy, you know, he gets a ton of women because he's super attractive, or this guy gets a ton of women because he has money. Like, you never really know what makes a woman attracted to a male, what makes a woman wants to approach that male. Now, I'm gonna give y'all a secret. A lot of times it's his personality. He's a little bit charismatic. He's confident. That's what draws women into him. Okay, they feel like he's cool, he's down to earth. Meanwhile, I don't know, brother could be a narcissist for all we know, but women are gonna approach him. All right. So with that being said, though, I just found it interesting, the fact that certain men only engage with women who have approached them or, you know, tried to talk to them first. Other than that, they're like, I'm not interested. I don't approach women. That's not my thing. And I'm like, okay, wow. Wow. Okay. So moving on. When I spoke to one of the good guys and I asked him how often he gets approached by women, one in particular was saying how he doesn't get approached by women very often, and he thinks that's because he does not look approachable, which is probably most likely the case, because no woman is going to approach a man that does not look approachable. If it looks like you are a jerk, if it looks like you have an attitude, most likely women are not going to approach you. Women are not going to be interested in sparking a conversation with you. That's the same for if you see a woman and she has like this disgusting look on her face, like, what do you want? Like, you're not really gonna want to engage with her. You're really not gonna want to approach her, right? So the same with men. So now let's get into the fact of giving you my opinion, my perspective. Should women in fact approach men? Now, I had this idea even previous from speaking to these dudes and asking their opinions. I had my own thoughts on it, and here we go with my thoughts. Now, if you're a woman who is afraid to approach a man, or you are socially awkward when it comes to engaging with people or having conversations, my advice to you would be to approach everybody. Talk to anybody that you really want to. Talk to the good-looking ones, talk to the non-good-looking ones. Talk to the men, talk to the women, because really and truly, you kind of just have to build up stamina when it comes to talking to people and getting comfortable in conversations. So again, if you're a woman and you're afraid to approach a man, it's frightening for you, I would say start sparking up conversations with men. Start talking to them. Start approaching them. Okay? And do it with the sense of you're doing it for fun. You're doing it as an exercise rather than you are approaching these men to find a husband. I don't suggest you do that, honey. All right? But in this case, if you want to approach men, if you are just want to do it for fun or interested in it and see how it goes, what it feels like, then I would totally suggest that you do that. Now, whereas if you are a woman who you're fairly comfortable with approaching men, you easily engage with people, I'm going to say to you, the biggest flex is to stop doing that. Stop approaching men and see, in fact, who approaches you. Because at the end of the day, when I ask the men, if they would in fact approach a woman that they were interested in, regardless of whether she approached them, the answer was yes. So with that being said, you kind of want to see what type of men you're attracting on your own without actually in fact approaching them. I like to do this sometimes. I like to go on a spot or whatever, and I don't approach men and I don't approach anybody, just to see what energy I'm attracting, just to see who actually is approaching me, who's actually engaging with me. Because I feel like that's kind of how you're going to gauge what energy you're projecting. I would say that if you're a woman and you see a guy that you're attracted to, instead of going up to him and approaching him, I think that the biggest flex is to just give simple signals that you're interested. Give a smile, there's other things that you can do. If you want the video on the signals and how to get a man to approach you, then, you know, I'll have that video coming up, or just leave me a comment, whatever. But I think that that is the biggest flex, to be in a space, see a man that you find attractive, and if he is single, if he is feeling you too, he is going to approach you, given if you're doing the right signals, okay? Because, I mean, at the end of the day, you don't want to be approaching every married man in the room, okay? That's just, yeah, no. You don't want to be giving off desperate energy, desperate vibes. We don't want to be giving off, here is me on a platter, okay? And a lot of the men did not say that they were getting that vibe, but I sensed it. I sensed it. I sensed it. You're going to tell me that you're waiting for this girl to fade to black and you're not talking to her, but you're talking to her? Like, nah. That's how you end up with the dudes that's, you know, wanting to chill, never take you on date, just like, yo, just come over here and hang out, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's how you end up with those guys. Those guys, that's what they do, because you approached them. Oh, you thought he was sexy, you thought he was nice. Hey, let's go hang out. Like, how about we do this? Oh, no, I don't really like being outside like that. You know what I'm saying? Just come to the crib and chill. No. So I hope that this was helpful. Make sure that you give this video a thumbs up if you've gotten this far. All right, check out my other videos. If you like my content, then subscribe to my channel. I appreciate it. Thank you for watching, and I will chat with you